punch needle fabrics. What are they and why do you need a special kind of fabric? Basically, if you are using a regular punch needle, regular thickness punch needle that uses yarn, you need a special kind of fabric that allows the yarn to flow through it and the needle tip, to be honest. So it has to be an open weave material that allows something large to pass through it, and then when you take it out and move to the next hole, it will push together to hold your yarn into place. And that's why you need a special kind of fabric. Most of the fabrics on the market are a woven fabric. They're not open weave, they are woven. They're woven really tightly together and they don't allow any leeway. They don't move once they're woven together. They're very tight. And so a normal, typical fabric that you find at all fabric stores, Walmart, Hobby Lobby, wherever you go that has fabric, they're going to be woven materials, and that's why the needle doesn't pass through them, because it's not an open weave. Open weave means that they're woven, but they're not tied so tight together that they don't move. Open weave, they can flow in and out, and that's why they also fray very easily that you'll see. But so you do have to have an open weave material if you're going to punch needle. The most common punch needle fabric out there is monk's cloth. I use it 99% of the time. 99% of my orders are monk's cloth. This is just, it's probably the cheapest. It's also really, really soft, and it's really pliable. You can sew with it, you can do anything. It's not very stiff, and it's just a dream to work with. I love monk's cloth. I use it most of the time. And it's the cheapest fabric, foundation fabric out there. Burlap. I will comment on burlap. I don't have any examples of burlap here, but burlap is something that you can find at Hobby Lobby in the special section to the back, and it is also an open weave fabric, so it does work with punch needle, and it works a lot better than I thought it would, actually. And it's what, $4 a yard. It's very economical and cheap. If you want to just try it and you want to go somewhere tomorrow to get the fabric, burlap does work. I have been told burlap doesn't last over time. It will break down eventually and just kind of disintegrate because it's jute, and so I don't tend to use it. The biggest reason I don't use burlap is that it's really, really messy and stinky. I just don't really enjoy it. If I'm gonna sit on the couch and work with something, I don't want it getting all over my lap and being itchy, and so that is the biggest reason I don't use it. Yeah, so I use monk's cloth for the most part. If you get monk's cloth, you're set. You don't really need to listen anymore. If you want to try different alternatives and you really are interested in it, then you get into rug warp and the linens. So you have your traditional linen, a primitive linen, and a bleached primitive linen. They are like a high quality burlap. It is not burlap. Burlap is made out of jute. This is made out of a linen material, so it is actually really soft. If it wasn't so expensive, I probably would use it more often. The picture on the wall back there is, you can see part of the fabric as part of the art piece, and that's usually typically when I will use a linen, is if I want it to be part of the art piece. The monk's cloth is creamy, and it has white lines in it also, and so it's not typically my style when it comes to art. So if I want it to be part of the art piece, I will use the linen. And I really, really, really love the bleached linen, and it's just really, really pretty. So the bleached linen is just a little bit lighter color. Traditional linen is your darkest one, and then primitive linen is a little bit lighter. And to be honest, the traditional linen is just a little bit higher quality. I think maybe it's just a little bit stronger material, but sometimes I can't even tell the difference between the two. So they're not necessarily, they're pretty equal in quality and in color sometimes. Rug warp is probably the thickest one. It's also made out of cotton. It's just a really thick strand of cotton, and it's really quite stiff. I've been told, really, if you want to make a rug, this is a good fabric to use because it makes your rug a little bit stiffer, and the monk's cloth makes it a little bit pliable. moves more, I guess. This one would move, but it's a little bit stiffer, kind of like a rug would be. So rug warp, I've been told, is good for rugs. And then the natural weaver's cloth, this is not for yarn thickness punch needle. This is solely for embroidery punch needle. It is not necessarily open weave. It is woven. The embroidery punch needle can go through it, but a regular punch needle cannot. And then alternative fabrics. So this is 100% wool fabrics tend to be a woven, an open weave material. And when you get to alternative fabrics, it's really a trial and error. I don't know the answer at this point. Sometimes I order a linen and it works, and sometimes I order a linen and it doesn't work. So this one is just a Kaufman Basics linen, and if you look at it, you closely, you can kind of see holes in it, and it did work. However, it does leave holes. It works well enough, but it's not an optimal yarn thickness punch needle fabric. But it did work well enough that I could use it. This, however, this 100% wool, you can tell by the pictures when I ordered it online, you can tell that the strands are going in and out, so that is something that you can look for. That's what I look for. I search open weave fabrics, and then when they pull up, I will see if it actually does look open weave. And this one worked really, really well. In fact, I had a piece that was 100% wool, and it worked better than I thought it was. And in fact, if it wasn't so expensive, I would probably use it more often because it was very, very nice to work with. And these are fun in that this is pretty. You could put an initial on it like this and be done with your piece. So you can use this as part of your art. Or you could even put this as a woven piece, and then you could punch something on the side to make it stand out. And this could just be one section of your piece. So that is fun to work with. And then this cotton gauze, this is an Aiden and an I muslin blanket. It actually does work. However, because it is such an open weave, it did work. It allowed it in and it held it and it looks great and all. But it's a very light. The strands that are woven in there are very light and almost a little bit brittle, and so I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. You can use it for something like this. It worked up really nice, and this is a nice and quick and easy that you can make this for a baby present or something. So it does work. However, it does, as you punch and the more holes you get into it, the weaker that it got. So I would have a little bit of caution with that. And then this is another 100% wool fabric that worked really, really nicely. And this one is too 100% wool. So basically, if you're going to try alternative fabrics, it's really trial and error, and you want to look for open weave. Anywhere it says open weave, that's what you're looking for. And also look at the up close pictures as much as possible, and make sure you see the strands going in and out of the fabric. That's what you want to see.